it's money time now because the field is set. And here's a look at the odds to win Larry O'Brien's trophy. The defending champs, well, they lead the way, obviously, followed by the Spurs and the Celtics. Lakers, long shots. Health of Luka very much in question. Of course, they host the Rockets game 1 Saturday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC. All right, as promised, we bring Danny Green back here to Sports Center. I want to take a look at this weekend full of playoff matchups. And let's start with LeBron and the Lakers taking on KD and the Rockets in that round 1. LA shorthanded, no Luka, no Austin Reeves. So how can they even make this series interesting?
Defense. They got to find ways to junk it up defensively, what they've been doing the last couple months of trapping, doubling, zoning up. But they got to trap KD. He's the head of the snake. If you take him out, it'll slow them down. They have others that are pretty good. Alperen Sengun and Reed Shepard and Amin Thompson play point guard, but they're just not ready yet. So if you can find ways to just make the play in a half-court set, it'll be in your favor if you're the Lakers because they are youthful. They are out and running better, and we know the Lakers struggle in defensive transition points. So if they can find ways to zone it up, they have to be offensively efficient, not turn the ball over, but defensively trap KD. He seems to struggle with it the last 2 times they faced him with it.
Where's LeBron going to get any help from, though?
He's got some guys. They've been there. DeAndre Ayton's been in the finals. Marcus Smart has been in the finals. Luke Kennard's been around for a while. Rui Hachimura has played in the playoffs. So those guys, they have some veteranship, some experience that I trust more than the youthful Houston Rockets experience because you're still very young. But they are shorthanded. They're going to find ways to kind of make the Houston Rockets slow down some and making a play in a half-court set. They will throw some zone out there. And like LeBron said, they got to rebound. They got to box out, be a grown man, box out, get in there, do your job, and rebound because that's going to change or make or break the series.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what version of LeBron we get here in the first round to get the Rockets. So with that series said and done, what about the entire weekend, though, Danny? Give me another series that maybe you find the most intriguing.
For me, I think it's the 4-5 series on both sides because they're so close. So I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, only because outside the New York Knicks in the East, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have the most pressure outside of them because coming into this season, they were expected to be a number 1, number 2 team in the East. They've dropped down some. They added James Harden. But James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are 2 guys that have something to prove this year. And they're supposed to take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. When you're playing against this young, fearless Toronto Raptors team with nothing to lose, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one as they go head-to-head.
And let's be real. They didn't get James Harden to lose in the first round. They got James Harden to try to get to the NBA Finals. So that pressure you talk about, squarely in that backcourt with he and Donovan Mitchell. Danny, as always, man, appreciate it. On Sports Center, season's over for the Warriors after taking that loss to the Suns, 111-96 in the last play-in game. Golden State has now missed the playoffs twice in the last 3 years. And the offseason, it's going to be interesting to say the least. But how about this past season they just experienced? Up and down, to say the least, with Steph. He was in and out of the lineup, injuries all year. He missed 39 games total, his most since 2020. And the Warriors went just 13-26 when their future Hall of Famer was not in the lineup. Jimmy Butler's health also played a major part in Golden State's downfall. He tore his ACL against the Heat on January 19th, obviously missed the rest of the season. Golden State at that time was 24-19 when he went out. And then the Warriors, they won 37 games this season. That's all. Second fewest wins since Steve Kerr took over in 2014. So the question is, could this be the end of one of the greatest runs in NBA history? They won 4 titles in the last 12 seasons.
Well, Steph still got it. You watched the other night. He can still do it, but it just gets more difficult as you get older, obviously. That game the other night will go down as one of my favorite games we've ever played. And I don't care what anybody says, play-in game, whatever, does not matter.
I'm not retiring from basketball, though. I still love to play. I think I'm still pretty decent. But this league we're in, it's an interesting one. And it's one that you don't really control everything. So, for me, I hope I've done enough to still be here, because at the end of the day, if I ain't done enough, I don't want to be here.
All right, so let's look ahead to next season with the summer in mind, okay? Because the Warriors' 2 top dogs, they're under contract. That's Steph and Jimmy Buckets. They got a couple role players under contract as well with Moses Moody and Brandon Pajimski. The big offseason question, though, will be around Draymond Green. He has a player option. Will he pick it up? Will another team sign him to a long-term extension? Will the Warriors give him a longer? About them Wildcats. Well, we get this Friday night after party started on the NBA hardwood. Steph and the Warriors trying to become the second 10 seed to make the playoffs through the play-in. They ventured into the desert for a run with the Suns. Devin Booker. Oh, watch out, coming through the lane. Colin Gillespie to Booker. Suns led it 33-15 after one. Second quarter, turnover. Jalen Green, dunk. All of a sudden now the Suns have a double-digit lead. Steph got the steal. You know he's going to pull up, right? You know he's going to pull up. Knocks down the three. Not a great shooting night overall for Steph, but his squad was down just 7. Then off the miss here, Brandon Pajimski is there for the putback, so it's a 5-point game. Right before the end of the half, though, Green fadeaway 3. So the Suns are up 50-45 at the half. But in the third quarter, Green starts going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Knocks down that 3. The lead is 14. And then here, another 3. I mean, that is deep. Now it's a 10-point advantage. And then like, oh, there's more to the game than threes, right? The drive, the finish. Suns are up 78-69 after 3. 8 minutes to go in the game. Booker, he finds a hot hand. Oh, when it's your night, it's your night. And the night belonged to Green. A game high, 36 points. And the Suns led it 92-78. We're still in the fourth quarter. Booker, pull up, bucket. He had 20 points, 8 assists. The Suns extend the lead. It's pretty much over, right? Well, here we go. Draymond fouls Book. Book didn't like the foul, so he and Draymond are going back and forth while Book was trying to shoot the free throws. He had to be held back. It gets escalated. They would continue to talk, and guess what? They both end up getting ejected. Like, look at Draymond. You out of here, I'm out here. Now he's trying to get the crowd to boo him louder. Come on, you can do better than that. He's a multi-time champion. Suns get the win, and they end the series and the season for the Warriors.
Towards the end of the game, you and Draymond and Steph kind of did a group hug. What was that moment like, and what message was shared in that huddle?
None of your business.
Just appreciating this year, all the years that we've been together. Maybe the last time. So just to share a moment was good.
Draymond, can you imagine Steve as your coach?
No, I couldn't. Oh man, that beer got me. No, I think one of the biggest blessings as far as my career has gone is being able to be in one place. I've had the same coach for 12 years. Obviously, Coach Jackson for 2. But I'm not really someone who likes things to change.
I don't know what's going to happen. I still love coaching, but I get it. These jobs all have an expiration date. There's a run that happens, and when the run ends, sometimes it's time for new blood and new ideas and all that. And if that's the case, then I will be just nothing but grateful for the most amazing opportunity any person could have to coach this franchise in front of our fans in the Bay, and to coach Steph Curry, to coach Dre, the whole group. So it may still go on. It may not. I don't know at this point. We all need to step away a little bit and then reconvene.
All right, so we've heard from Steve Kerr and Draymond Green. Now time for Steph Curry, new on SportsCenter.
Steve's future's kind of topic of the night. He said it'll be decided in the next couple of weeks, or he'll think about it in the next couple of weeks.
How vocal do you plan to be with Steve about his future and with the organization about keeping him around?
I'm gonna take Steve's lead. Just we haven't had any of these conversations, so we all have to kind of assess where we're at, and I'm sure decisions either way will be made. But just the idea of just looking at how we try to make something out of this year is the focus for me, and we'll get to the rest of what the future looks like, but. We had a lot of good moments in the locker room, just appreciating the fight and the battle that we had and the ability to try to extend our season. Didn't go the way we wanted to. We'll get to the other stuff later.
No, but knowing that it is his choice, how much of a preference is it for you?
I want Coach to be happy. I want him to be excited about the job. I want him to believe, he's the right guy for the job. I want him to, have an opportunity to, again, enjoy what he does. So whatever that means for him, everybody's plan is their own, and I'm not going to try to tell anybody what to do. He knows how I feel about him. That shouldn't even need to be said, but however it goes, you're excited about, or not excited, you're thankful for what we've been able to accomplish over this run. I'm thankful for an opportunity, hopefully, to put it together, do something again next year. And again, I just want Coach to be able to look at the situation as a whole and feel like he's the right guy.
We asked Steve about that last moment when you, Draymond, and him on the sideline, and he said, "This could be the last time." Did that hit you then? Like the last time you three are together in a competitive moment?
I mean, I was kind of fighting it, to be honest. You always kind of has to be in it. Your coaching staff, like every dynamic has to be on that journey with you. So only he can answer that. It sounds like he's put a lot of thought into it, but we'll have those conversations where I get to kind of understand where his mindset is. Because it's not like he was going to open up to me on that front over the last, or at any point during the season, because we still had a job to do.
Moving back to the Suns, basically KD was here last year. He's no longer here. A lot of people thought the Suns wouldn't be doing this well this year. What did you see on the court from them this season, in particular this playing game that kind of just changed their mentality? It just looks like they got better this year without Kevin.
They got better, and they look different, and they figured out how to put the pieces together to, highlight what they could do, what their strengths are, what this particular group is. They're super talented, fast, athletic. Defensively, they like to, switch a lot, and you got Devin doing his thing as a playmaker and a scorer. I heard Draymond talking about what Dylan's brought in terms of just the mentality. But you have a lot of, we call them the others, but a lot of guys who show up on a nightly basis. What Jordan Goodwin did tonight was incredible. Iguodala stepping in and starting role when, you had, what's his name, Williams out. So, it's they seem to do it by a committee, but they all play hard every night, and you're going to be in a track meet, and that's what it felt like tonight. So they did what they had to do. It'd be fun to watch them against OKC. I'm sure they're pretty confident they can go out and challenge the champs.
Sam, let's go with Sam. Sam, you had a question, right?
Yeah, going back to Steve for a second. Did this season feel different for you guys knowing that he didn't have a contract?
Nah, it was more the injuries and the change of who we had available on a nightly basis halfway through the year. That was more the concern and the challenge that we had to face. I think he did a great job of not letting that be too much of a talking point within our circles, which That's what a professional does.
Did Steve literally say on the sideline there that this could be the last time?
He said, I don't know what's going to happen, but if it is the last time, I just want to share this moment, which is to the point of, like, after laying it all out on the line for as long as we did during this game, that was kind of a jolt of and to do the exact same thing every year, and it's a super competitive league, and you have to hold on to whatever momentum you have when you get it. So they're on that ride and see how it goes.
Great, thank you. That's it.
Well, obviously some things have not been decided there with the Warriors, but quite a bit of uncertainty with Steve Kerr especially, Draymond Green. And you did hear that Steph is going to be ready for next year. Now, if you go back to that 2022 season when they won their title, that was the 4th title